That one is recording.
Oh, how pretty you are. Oh.
I need some more makeup.
Glasses are off. And this one is... Oh. Alright, I'll hold it there. That's going to work. You're recording? Mickey,
Yeah.
can you give us a clap just to synchronise everything? Good.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay. Jen, you're here
Hello.
in New Zealand. Do you come to New Zealand often?
I've been twice before.
Have you?
Yep.
What did you do on previous trips?
I travelled with my parents. This is much nicer.
Is it? So that was 10 years ago or something, or was it recent years?
No, maybe 4 years ago was the last time. Did the
Okay.
South Island.
Okay. And you drove a car around?
Yeah, Dad drove.
Dad drove.
Yeah.
Would Dad be driving today if he was here with us today?
No.
Would he be joining us?
Not on
our
a
tour?
unicycle.
Not on a unicycle.
He probably he gets about 20 k's on a bike, and then
You're
that's
giving a
it.
bit of a clue away there. We're doing something a bit special here today, aren't we? Do you want to explain what we're doing in New Zealand?
just moseying about, having a good ride, just going, I don't know, a couple of k's down the road on unicycles. Just the average, usual sort of thing.
It's so average that they even put a photo of us in the Otago Daily Times and decided to give everyone an interesting insight into what we're doing.
It was a slow news day for the Otago Daily Times, it seems.
I can see that. So how long have you been riding a unicycle?
Probably about 12 years-ish.
What got you interested in unicycles?
I did it at school.
Really?
There was like circus skills was a school sport.
Oh,
And then I learned unicycling, and I can juggle as well.
Excellent.
And then I had a cheap, shitty unicycle, and then eventually I broke it, and then I had another one, and I broke it again. And then about 4 years ago, I got myself my first decent trials, and then I just kept riding from then, and now I've got about 6 or so.
What's the attraction of the unicycle for you?
Yeah, it's just a challenge, and I'm a bit of a show-off, so it works in well,
That's interesting because a lot of unicyclists actually aren't really that much show-offs, and that's the reason why Muni is so popular. Because when you get on off-road trails, there's less people around to point cameras at you. Go, "Hey, get a load of this way! You lost a friggin' wheel."
Yeah, I don't know. Some days I like it, and some days I can definitely do without it. Depends on how tired I am, what stage of the ride it is.
Okay, so why go touring on a unicycle, Jim?
A bit of a challenge. Never done quite as far before. I'd made about 100 k's in a day before I came in training for the tour, but just wanted a challenge, so thought this would definitely be one.
How did you find out about the tour?
Chris, also on the tour, mentioned that Ken does these things, and then I looked on the internet and saw all about it and got friends with Ken on Facebook, and just kept bugging him for when he'd release the info about when it was happening. And as soon as he said, "Here's the paperwork," I was like, done, in.
You must be the second one to register then, because mine was in very close to the first one, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hang around, and I kind of just said, "Oh, sorry Mum, I'm away this date to this date. I don't care what else you got planned. I won't be at work."
So how have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Yeah, it's been good. There's been some ups and some downs. Sometimes the downs were on the ups, like Dancy's Pass. That was a bit of a down for me. I'm not very good at climbing. Newcastle doesn't have very big hills, so...
Yes.
But overall, definitely would do it again, so... Yeah.
Excellent. What's the best part of the tour so far?
Best part, the beers, but also probably the little bit of track when we were on our way to Lake Ohau. It was just this beautiful glacial lake, kind of overcast, not too hot, and it was kind of, the track could almost be like in prehistoric dinosaur time. It was just like beautiful single track, and then the plants were just beautiful, and then there was sun poking down through the clouds, and yeah, that was probably the best part of track so far. So, and the people, of course.
Yes, well, you know, different tours, different people.
Yeah.
So this is your first unicycle tour?
Yeah.
Would you do another one?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Where would you like to go for the next unicycle tour? Do you have any thoughts on that, or are you just wide open?
Somewhere a bit further afield. Maybe somewhere where they don't speak English, because that'd be a bit more adventurous than New Zealand is a bit like Australia's little brother, so it wasn't all that big a deal to to wander over
that bit out.
the 3-hour plane trip. But it is nice. I knew New Zealand was beautiful, so
It's so close to Australia that it's silly not to come here.
yeah. But when I arrived in Christchurch, I looked around and I thought the plane company could have tricked me and just transported me to Adelaide, and I wouldn't have known, because it just kind of looked the same as Australia.
But Adelaide doesn't have big mountains near it, does it?
No, it doesn't. So it's definitely New Zealand now.
Okay, well, thank you for talking to us, Jen.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your tour.
I will.
Oh, you've been amazing. Oh, absolutely.
Alright, that one's recording.
Don't touch the
This
table
won't hurt a bit.
during the interview.
And this one is also now recording.
You ready?
Yep. Danny, pleased to see you here today. What's happening today, Danny?
Oh, I had a really good UPD, a really nice one, I hope so. It's one of on your cameras, and now it's like hurting here. But,
Do you want to explain UPD? Because some of the people watching this video may not understand the terminology.
Oh, that's what a pity. It means unplanned dismount.
Ooh.
So I was like riding in the middle of the trail, and then something happened. Maybe I fall asleep for just a second, and then it was like boom, and I found myself on the floor. So yeah, that's what happened.
So where do you come from, Danny?
I'm coming this morning. I started in Roxburgh, but originally I'm from Germany.
You're from Germany,
Yes.
and where are we at the moment?
We are at Lawrence. I think it's called Lawrence, yes.
In Lawrence, and what country is Lawrence in?
In New Zealand, and it's really nice here. It's warm, it's kind of summer. I got some pictures from home this morning. We have snow there. I think it's dark and cold, and as it's nice and smooth and warm here, I get some tan, so it's really good country to be.
So, do you want to explain what we're doing in New Zealand over this last couple of weeks?
We are doing the most funniest way of holiday one could be on. We are meeting with some nice people from all over the world and do nothing else than get up, eat, unicycle, stop, eat, unicycle, stop, eat, unicycle, stop, eat, drink, unicycle, stop, eat, sleep, and then continue. So it's a pretty good life.
Now, you mentioned the word unicycle a lot there, Danny, so it seems like you have a bit of an interest in unicycles. How long have you been riding?
Oh, that's a good question. I maybe started in the late 90s, so to say. And I was first really into freestyle and did this for so many years. So I think I was doing freestyle for maybe like 7 or 8 years. I was doing like group freestyle, pair freestyle, and then doing some races like the 100 meter, 400, 800, 1500. Then later I got into 10K racing. Then I stopped for a little while. Then I played some hockey, some basketball for fun, and then I thought, well, long distance, that's it. So I bought a bigger unicycle and prepared for Düsseldorf Marathon. which I did the last 3 years where it was held. And then I got the chance to be part of the Scotland tour 2 years ago, and after that I thought, well, I have to be in a uni tour again. So this is how I ended up here.
So this is your second Unicycle Tour?
Yes, it is.
Obviously you enjoyed the first one, so you've come back for a second one.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it about Unicycle Tours that makes them really worth repeating?
Get up, eat, right? Stop, eat, and we had this before. Well, actually it's like at home when I go for a ride, it's like most of the time riding alone. So here you have good company, and that's really nice because you start riding in the morning with somebody, then you get passed by Sean, then he's making nice videos of you, then you get passed by other people, they were making like photos and other videos, then you have nice talks, and it's about the spirit of unicycling. I think we are all a little bit like the same, really into unicycling, enjoying ourselves out there, get into contact with people who are living here, enjoying the beautiful landscape. Yeah, that's it.
How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Oh, really? So we were talking yesterday about which was the best day or whatever, and so far I think it's hard to say which was the best day, because every day has some sort of highlights, and I was also on more or less every day suffering for a while, because I felt dizzy, or I was tired, or it was a little boring, but all the days also had, for most of the time, really wonderful spots where we were going. We had fun, we had lots of uphills, I love uphills, we had some downhills, so there were beautiful things to see, some ice cream around the road, so yeah.
Because it's been unusual weather for South Island, New Zealand. It's been freaking hot for the last week or so, and you're not used to hot weather coming from Germany, are you?
Yes, but it's not that bad. I prefer that to the one I had when preparing for the tour at home, because in the last months before coming here, I had some tours at around 0 degrees, and that was not that much fun. So I prefer then having the weather we had before with like 30 degrees. Then you just have to drink a little more and calm down in the shade. And as we have always good music there, thanks.
Saeed's come through with the music, hasn't he?
Yeah, Nikki also has good music, Saeed has good music, so there's also time to relax and enjoy this.
All right, well, thank you for chatting today.
Oh, you're really welcome.
Bye-bye.
I enjoyed it too.
Okay. You rolling?
I was waiting for him.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Yaku, we're here in New Zealand. What's happening here?
We're doing a bit of a unicycle tour.
A unicycle tour. That's an interesting way to go on tour, isn't it?
Yeah.
How long have you been riding unicycles, Yaku?
About 10 years. Started in New Zealand, so for me it's probably 10 years since I've started. Yeah.
What got you started in unicycles?
I saw a guy riding a 36-inch near Plymouth, and I thought, that's fantastic. I want one, and I got one for Christmas 10 years ago.
You started on 36?
No, 20-inch.
Oh, okay. That'd be a bit small for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I prefer the 36. This tour is a 29, which was nice on the Alps to Ocean, but I think it's a bit slow on Otago and these last few days, yeah.
Okay, so how did you hear about this tour?
I think it was Facebook on Ken's website. Looked it up. I saw it really late, and I think I was one of the last guys to join. But yeah, I was always disappointed. I saw all the other tours once it's been done, saw the videos of you guys, and then I thought, oh, damn, missed it. And this one I saw just in time, so yeah, I jumped on board, I think 3 months ago.
So have you done any other cycling tours?
No, not at all.
So you're actually new to cycling tours in general, and you're doing it on a unicycle?
Yeah, that's correct.
It's kind of odd, you're sort of really branching out to the unknown there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I do enjoy endurance events, and
What endurance events have you done?
so I've done a few Ironmans, I've done a few 100k trail runs.
100 kilometre trail run.
Yeah,
How long does that take you?
quickest 14 and a half hours.
That's a big day out.
Yeah, it's a big day out. So, but unicycling multi-day it's good fun. Yeah, enjoy it.
So you're not finding it too taxing?
No, it's not too bad. No, it's not at all.
And the attraction of the tour in general?
Well, it's good scenery, really, and New Zealand's just beautiful. South Island's just a beautiful place to come.
I'm not going to argue with that. This is my second tour in the South Island, and I came back for that reason.
Yeah.
So how have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Have I enjoyed it?
Well, how have you? Have you enjoyed it? Either one.
Yeah,
We'll discuss it.
I've loved it too so far.
You've loved it.
Danzy's Pass is probably the best day.
That's interesting. Danzy's Pass is featured in other people's conversation, but they didn't see it as a highlight. It was more like an oh my god day.
No, I really loved the hard climbing.
Do you?
I enjoyed that. And it was either up on the seat, climbing hard, or on the brake.
You made it up
hard.
the hill without stopping?
No, I had to walk a few times. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I think I walked all of it. It was a tough climb.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I had a good day that day. So yeah, I haven't really had any bad days. A few long days that I felt was a bit slow, but maybe just low in energy, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think on a tour you do get variety. Every day isn't going to be scintillating, and sometimes there are a few transit sections.
Yeah.
So, yeah, final question was going to be best part of the tour. Sounds like that's Danzy's Pass.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, it was pretty good. I really loved that day.
Would you come back for another tour?
Definitely, yeah. Absolutely.
Elsewhere in the world, or just for New Zealand?
I'd love to go back or go to Mongolia. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I've seen a lot of videos and footage of Mongolia in general, motorcycle videos, and it just looks epic. So I would want to go there, yeah. But anywhere else in the world's fine as well. So maybe Italy is next.
Okay. All right, thanks for that, Jakob.
Okay, no worries.
Jakob,
Yeah,
enjoyed
watch.
it so much he wants to sit in on it as
Can I have
well.
a cigarette while I'm doing this? Probably wouldn't work very well, huh?
Well, it seems I have a bad influence.
It does, doesn't it?
Unicycle smoking cigarette.
All right, I'm rolling.
Ready?
Tomas, your
Yep.
second unicycle tour. Here we are in New Zealand. What brought you back for another unicycle tour?
Seeing in New Zealand was my dream, and there's no better way to see it on a unicycle. So I saw the tour was coming up, and I was definitely interested, and I'm glad I got in and don't regret any of it.
So how long have you been riding unicycles?
About 10 years now.
What got you started in unicycles?
Well, I actually found one in a thrift store for $8, and I kind of debated if I should buy it or not, and I did, and it certainly changed my life. It was a crappy old Schwinn, $8. 2 years later, my unicycle cost about $3,000, so it just happens.
So what, if you've been riding unicycles for 10 years, you did your first unicycle tour in Nepal 2 years ago. What sort of riding have you been doing in general?
Actually, my main riding is really Muni. Downhill in Arizona, we got really good single tracks. very technical riding, and most of the riders are really interested in that. But I'm always up to challenge, so long distance unicycling, it's actually interesting, it's painful, but I'm glad I do it.
So this is the longest distance you've done, is it?
Actually, these are the pretty long distances for me. Actually, I do ride big wheel 36 gear, so I do racing a little bit, but usually I stop around 25-30 miles, about 50 kilometers max. And considering I'm riding pretty small wheel here with slump gear, that's it's a lot of pedaling to do.
Okay, so how are you enjoying the world of long distance unicycling?
I enjoy it, and thank God for Sean Bennett. He helped me with some butt cream. That really helped. Grateful for it. Yeah, that crotch sore, it's something, I don't know how to train that, but definitely very painful. I think everything...
You're preaching to the converted.
I think every pain, knee, ankle pain will heal, but that thing's not gonna go away.
Okay. Question 2. Why go touring on a unicycle?
Why touring on a unicycle?
Yeah.
Well, I love riding unicycle, and I got pretty comfortable riding it, and the opportunity to see the world on it, you just cannot say no to it. It's definitely an awkward way to, move around, but I think over the years you get more comfortable, and I just don't like bicycles, at this point, so one wheel is just plenty.
How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
The tour was awesome. I mean, I like the people are cool. Surprisingly, we all get along so far. I think Ken did a pretty good job planning the trip, the distances. I do like it a lot, yes, I'm pretty happy with this.
And the best part of the tour so far?
There's so many. I guess seeing New Zealand from Unicycle is awesome. I finally achieved my dream, seeing it. And, see Nicola and Sean and Yaku again. So far it's been great, yeah.
So you'd be happy to sign up for another Unicycle Tour?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm definitely looking for another destination. I'm not sure what they're gonna come up with, but it's always something I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. I did the Himalayan, now this is the New Zealand, so I'm just only guessing what's gonna be next. But I'm ready for another adventure.
So this one's actually been a bit similar to Nepal, because that was all off-road as well, and we've been mostly off-road. We haven't touched bitumen much this 2 weeks, have we?
I think the difficulty of riding, this is definitely harder for me because of the distances. So I'm sitting in a saddle for so long without dismounting. In the Himalayas we did I think 20k max, but it was a lot of walking. So this is definitely more painful, but in a way more challenging and rewarding. And I feel better here than Himalayas, but Himalayas have its own beauty. So I can really, this is just more current, so there's still a lot of emotions involved in this whole thing.
Okay then. Thank you for that.
No, thank you. Don't be nervous.
I'm so nervous.
No. Nervous is the wrong word. Terrified is the one we should have.
Ready?
Saeed, you are here in New Zealand at the moment. Can you tell us what you're doing in New Zealand?
Che fai qua in New Zealand?
Mi sto divertendo molto, ho trovato splendide persone con cui condividere questo bellissimo viaggio. Molto interessante, paesaggi meravigliosi, clima bello, gente molto cordiale e quindi me la sto godendo fino in fondo.
Are you riding?
Assolutamente no. Faccio il driver del gruppo e cerco di impegnarmi molto in modo da renderli ancora il viaggio molto più confortevole in un certo senso, quando di supporto soprattutto nelle tappe in cui dovete pedalare tanto. E spero di poterlo far bene, ecco. Lo saprò alla fine del viaggio quando avrò il vostro feedback.
If you want to do the next question.
How long have you been riding a unicycle? Have you ever gone on a cycling tour before?
Hai già fatto dei cycling tour before?
Sì, però mountain bike. Ho viaggiato in mountain bike, quindi ho il mio gruppo con cui viaggio spesso con il mountain bike, quindi abbiamo fatto Nepal, abbiamo fatto Bali, Java e a gennaio facciamo il Vietnam e la Cambogia, sempre in mountain bike, e ormai un gruppo molto affiattato, molto compatto, ci conosciamo da tempo, quindi andiamo sul sicuro di andare sempre d'accordo e abbiamo lo stesso passo.
Togli gli occhiali. Qual è stato il giorno più bello secondo te?
Il giorno più bello? Io credo che tutti i giorni sono belli. Io mi sto divertendo ogni giorno, per me è sempre più interessante, più bello e soprattutto conoscervi sempre di più. Te sei un amico di cuore che ti conosco bene, loro li sto conoscendo giorno per giorno, ogni giorno scopro una cosa nuova e quindi è ancora più bello secondo me. Ecco.
E pensi che farai ancora degli altri tour in mountain bike?
In mountain bike sicuramente, un gruppo con l'Unicycle non lo so, dipende dall'invito quando arriverà ancora.
E proverai mai a imparare il monociclo?
Dipende da te. Mi hai promesso di procurarmi uno da 20, io mi impegno, ma anche tu dovresti impegnarti.
Ok.
È una promessa.
I asked you if he's going to try a unicycle. He say it depends on me.
And we look forward to you joining us on a unicycle, Saeed. But for now, the important question is, how have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Ti è piaciuto fino adesso?
Assolutamente sì, assolutamente sì. Mi diverto molto e poi soprattutto anche molta complicità anche da parte del gruppo con me. Quindi la musica vi aspetto di nascosto, ci troviamo, ogni tanto magari mi trovate all'improvviso davanti, quindi quasi lo prendo come un gioco, quindi mi diverto ancora di più.
Ok.
And the best part of the tour so far?
La miglior parte del giro fino adesso?
Là?
Il momento migliore, la parte migliore del giro?
Io credo per tutti sia il primo giorno con l'elicottero. Credo che sia- secondo me è il più bello. Sì.
And the music?
Absolutely.
You realise you've been a very valuable source of music for us on this tour. It's the first tour we've had supported music like this.
È il primo tour che abbiamo anche la musica di supporto.
Quindi io mi diverto molto. Senza musica credo che non sia vita. E quindi io vivo con la musica, quindi a prescindere di qualsiasi lingua, di qualsiasi tono, la musica per me è vita, quindi come l'ossigeno.
Grazie.
Grazie a voi.
Vuoi dire qualcosa in arabo? Se
In
ti è
arabo?
piaciuto il giro fino adesso? O qualche commento in arabo?
In arabo non mi viene per il momento.
Che ti è piaciuto molto.
سفر جميل جدا ممتع جيد أصدقاء عجيبين وأنا فرح جدا بهذه الجولة في نيوزيلندا وأشكركم كثيرا.
شكرا.
Finisce.
All good. Grazie.
Adesso
Ok, traduci tu.
No, ma stiamo in italiano.
Ah,
You wanna do in Italian or English?
Italian, please.
Start with the question.
Okay, Natasha, how long have you been riding a unicycle?
No,
We'll-
bicycle.
We'll skip that one. So this is your third unicycle tour.
Yeah,
So you keep coming back for more of them. Why is this so?
to follow my husband. No, not only, non solo per quello. perché si scelgono sempre destinazioni interessanti e quindi è bello seguirvi.
And this is your first trip to New Zealand?
Sì, è il mio primo giro. It's my first trip in New Zealand. Yes.
How are you enjoying New Zealand?
Yes, yes, sure. È molto bella. Molto... is nature.
Yep. How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Ti è piaciuto fino adesso?
Yes, a lot. More fun. More enjoyable. Mi diverto con la bici. Riding a lot. Sì. It's fun.
And compared to other tours, is this more fun than other tours or same?
Per me il tour più indimenticabile è in Nepal. Himalaya is my heart, so Nepal is beautiful. La Nuova Zelanda è bellissima, ma il Nepal is wonderful, Himalaya is wonderful.
Yes, they have a profound effect on people, don't they?
Il Nepal profondamente va nelle persone, con le persone.
Yes, absolutely.
And yet New Zealand, South Island, New Zealand has the Southern Alps, which is also an impressive mountain range.
Ci sono anche le montagne in Nuova
Zelanda? Le Alpi del Sud di Nuova Zelanda.
Infatti, sì, mi è piaciuto molto il Monte Cook. Aoraki Mountain is beautiful mountain. Infatti il mio giro preferito è stato quello Mount Cook to bed and breakfast. I don't know the name. I don't know.
So the attraction for you is the mountains or is it the riding?
Riding into the mountains. I love it, mountains. I love my bike. Both. It's spectacular.
And the best part of the tour so far?
But riding or together?
Anything, anything. Does anything stand out?
When I explored Mount Cook with helicopter, very, very impressive experience.
That's 2 boats for the helicopter up the glacier. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. Grazie, Natasha.
Prego. Grazie.
Grande Nati, sei stata bravissima, cazzo.
You'll have to check that it's pointing in the right place because I can't see it from
Okay.
outside. Oh.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Do you zoom in at all, or do you do that
No, I
later?
can do that later.
Okay.
Rolling.
Rolling. Who's interviewing?
I'll do it.
Okay.
So Sean, how long have you been riding unicycles?
12 years now.
And why go on a unicycle tour?
I go on a unicycle tour because I did the first one 10 years ago, very soon after I started riding a unicycle. Ken Bluey came across my path courtesy of a mountain bike race in Toowoomba near Brisbane, and at that point I was trying to learn on my own, and I found his email address and ended up getting a lot of tips from him, including information on the Alps Unicycle Tour that he'd done earlier in the year in 2015. So when he announced he was planning a tour of the South Island, New Zealand, I thought, I have to do this. I don't own a 36-inch unicycle, I can't ride properly, but I still have to do it. So I signed up for it and I did it. And it was one of the best things I've ever done because in the 10 years since then, I have had a ball of fun riding around on one wheel. I think this is now my 5th tour. Ken has organised a lot of tours in different places. I haven't been on all of them, but I was in China in 2011, I was in Uzbekistan in 2013, I was in Nepal in 2015, places that I, of myself, wouldn't really have thought of going, but Ken thought they'd be really good places to do a tour. He organised the tours and I went on them. Each one has its own attraction. They've been fun in their own right, and I had said to him a long time ago, if you ever organise another tour of New Zealand, I'll be there. So when he did finally unleash the itinerary for this tour, I had my application in that night. So I was the first person to sign up, and I haven't regretted it. This particular tour has actually been different to the other one. The first one we spent mostly on bitumen. We covered a lot of ground. We saw different items of interest, the glaciers, the west coast, Arthur's Pass, Queenstown, Lake Wanaka. But this particular tour has been mostly off-road, and that's made it a bit more pleasant in one sense. We haven't had to worry about traffic so much. Ken has also explored the Alps to Ocean Trail earlier on with his wife Anna, and when I saw the preview of it I thought that looks really interesting. So when he said he was planning on doing SINZ 2 starting with Alps to Ocean, I thought that's another reason why I've got to make sure I'm on this tour. So I'm here.
And how have you enjoyed the tour so far?
I need to have a sip from my sponsor.
Don't need a brewery.
Sorry, what was the question?
How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Look, I've loved it. Every tour I've done I've enjoyed, and this one is no different. So yeah, I've had a ball. It's been great.
How does this tour stack up to the others?
It's hard. You're comparing apples to oranges because they're all in different locations. You can't really compare them so much. Some of the tours have had a lot of bitumen riding. In China we were riding a lot on bitumen roads, but they were back roads that were very sparsely populated by cars. In Nepal it was all off-road, up hideously steep rocky trails that no sane person would attempt to ride on a unicycle, hence the need for me to be there. This one has been good. The trails that we've been on have been mostly rideable. It is mostly off-road, so most unicyclists do actually seem to enjoy off-road riding, what we call mountain unicycling. I think part of the reason for that is that when you are riding off-road, you get less people pointing cameras at you, which gets a bit tedious. Most people aren't riding unicycles just because they like to be the centre of attention. They're doing it because it's a fun thing to do. They're doing it because it gives you a great challenge. You can always see how your skill's going, riding more and more tricky terrain. And you get it's a bit monotonous having people always stopping to take photos of you. So Muni has great attraction from that point of view, and this tour's had a lot of off-road riding, and I can only say I've had a ball.
What's the one thing that you've learned on this tour?
A 36-inch unicycle with 114mm cranks is actually a potent weapon on some rolling Muni trails. The Roxburgh Gorge Trail, I had forgotten we were leaving the Otago Rail Trail. I put short cranks on for the Otago Rail Trail and thought, oh, it's all going to be fairly flat, easy riding. Then we hit Alexandra and it's like, oh, actually it's not. It's going to be steep. It's going to be rolling. It's going to be trails. And I've got the short cranks on, so let's just give it a hammer and see what happens. And when we finished the interview with the newspaper reporter, Thomas picked up his unicycle and had that look about him like, I'm sick of standing around talking. I want to go. And I thought, this could be worth recording. So I hit the helmet cam to on, jumped on the 36 and followed him down the trail. We got from Alexandra to the jet boat pier in about 40 minutes. The bloke doing the jet boat said most cyclists take an hour to an hour and a half to do it, so we weren't mucking around, and the 36 was really soaking it up quite well. And that was one of the most glorious rides I've done on this tour. The other one was the final bit of trail heading into Lake Ohau before we hit the bitumen, where there was a storm ahead, and Natasha and I were riding together, and we thought, let's stop cease stopping to take photos and videos and just see if we can get there before the rain hits. And for about 8 kilometres I just went as hard as I could, and it was really, really good fun. So yeah, for me those two are the highlights of the tour. Love them. You sit in the chair, I'll check what's on the viewfinder.
Ready?
Nicola! See, I got it right. You're back on another Unicycle tour. How many tours is this for you?
Well, I was into Yunnan, into Uzbekistan, in Nepal, and this one.
So what keeps bringing you back?
Oh, because they told me that you were not in this tour, so I said, okay, I'm gonna be in this tour. But in the end, you were in this tour also. And I say, okay, I already booked the plane, so let's do it.
Because you lucked out there, didn't you?
Seriously talking, travel is amazing. Traveling with a unicycle is a unique experience, and traveling with unicyclists is amazing because most of the unicyclists I know are very interesting people.
So you'd already done a little bit of touring before,
Yep.
Yunnan on your own, but that was your first organised tour. So you've been back for, this is your 4th tour now, and you brought Natasha along on a couple of them too. So it's become quite a duo on the cycling tour, hasn't it?
Yeah, at the beginning, when we start riding together, me with the uni, she with the bike, an average tour at home was, let's say, 10k or 12k with an average speed of 10-12k per hour. Meanwhile, now, when we say, okay, now we have a pod is 20k, okay, let's do it without any break as far as we can go, why not? So, at the beginning, she asked me, tell me, what's the pleasure of going uphill? Now it looks like that uphill are her best part. And so, doing this experience with her, with my ex-girlfriend, now with my wife, it's definitely big part of the fun.
And this is your first trip to New Zealand.
Yep.
What do you think of New Zealand?
There's no people. I mean, the low concentration of people make it perfect for riding, but the nature is absolutely amazing because it's wilderness, it's so naturally nature. I mean, you can often turn your head 360 degrees and see nothing built by humans, and so it's amazing. It's an amazing land, and in the future years I'm sure it will have many more people, many more inhabitants, because it's amazing nature, very clean air, untouched nature.
How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Well, this tour, I'm gonna wait. I am enjoying a lot this tour, and as every other tour, the first days are the hardest, but let's say today now we're getting used doing 80k per day on a unicycle. It looks like the most natural things in the world, and also today we did 60 and something more kilometers, and like effortless. and it is amazing to get in contact with your body and using your body, your energy, eat, sleep, ride, repeat.
What's the best part of the tour so far?
Well, the best part of the tour for sure is the tour. Being together, riding, sometimes we want to ride fast, and so we have the opportunity to ride fast together with other great unicyclists, as Mr. Bennett, or sometimes we want to travel in the group, so we have plenty of time to take pictures on movies and do silly games, dancing, jokes, singing, and so the tour and the people of the tour.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
You have to look at that or
No, guarda Sean. Ready?
Probably me. Yeah,
Quello a posto?
it's on. It's on record. REC.
Ok, perfect.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sono molto contento perché anche oggi sono riuscito a fare la tappa, l'intera tappa senza utilizzare il van. È il terzo giorno, il primo giorno ho fatto i miei 82 km record personale, grazie anche all'aiuto e al supporto di molti amici. Ieri pure ho fatto l'intero percorso senza utilizzare il furgone e anche oggi sono riuscito a concluderlo. Sono molto contento, il tempo ci ha assistito, la compagnia è eccezionale. Speriamo di poter anche domani avere il fisico in forma per poter completare il giro e se volete farmi qualche domanda.
Okay, now it's time to begin with the interview.
You got any idea what he was doing? You can explain
Yeah,
to me?
he was talking about today has been a very nice day. I did all the kilometers without going in the van with a lot of friends, blah blah
Okay.
blah.
All right. How long have you been riding unicycles?
How long? How much years?
How long,
How long?
in years have you been riding unicycles?
Da quanti anni vai?
Yes, I ride a unicycle till 9 years. 9 years, yes, from exactly 9 years now, and
Why did you start learning a unicycle?
because I was curious to try if it was difficult to balance with him. I would try, and I reached to use it, and I'm very happy for it, for this reason.
Why go touring on a unicycle?
To meet a lot of wonderful people, such you.
Flattery will not work.
What?
How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
Ti è piaciuto fino a mo'?
A lot, very lot. It was very pleasure to ride with you and other friends, unicyclists.
And you're enjoying New Zealand?
Yes, but I found it is not too much different from Italy as landscapes and also like people. Also, if there is very few people around, it's difficult to meet people some days. But I don't feel as a stranger country.
What is the best part of the tour so far?
The best part was I feel it was interesting the part near the glacier, the tour with the helicopter over the glacier. It was really interesting, and I liked too much the river from Alexandra after by from
Roxburgh
Alexandra,
Gorge Trail.
coming down from Alexandra,
Yeah.
the big river, and the tour with the jet boat was really enjoying.
Excellent. Thank you. Grazie.
Goodbye.
You can drink while talking if you want.
Yeah, I did a
You mean in between talking?
a
or
message
while talking?
from my sponsor while I was being interviewed. Okay,
Sorry, I'll just face that towards the camera.
very nice. Okay, Chris, where do you come from?
Newcastle, Australia.
Newcastle, Australia. And where are you at the moment, Chris?
I haven't the slightest.
Let's open it up a bit. What country are you in at the moment?
I think New Zealand.
You think New Zealand?
Yes. Somewhere.
What do you think of New Zealand in general?
I think it's a beautiful place.
And is this your first trip to New Zealand?
It is.
It is.
It's my second trip overseas, away from Australia.
Oh. So what was your first trip?
Vanuatu.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's an unusual location. Not everyone goes to Vanuatu.
Yeah.
Why Vanuatu?
That's where everybody else was going at the time. I went with a group of about 10 people.
Oh.
And I've never travelled with any of them ever again.
Okay.
So,
Good.
second overseas trip, a different group of 10 roughly people, and this one was infinitely better.
Very nice. So what is special about this trip compared to other trips that people may go on?
Oh, how crude can we be in these interviews?
I can edit things out, but there's no promises.
Golden showers, skinny dipping in glacial waters. Shall I continue? There have been a few highlights. For me, I've broken my personal record for distance riding and unicycling like 3 times, I think, on this trip. The days are sort of starting to decline in distance, which makes it a bit easier, but I'm happy with what I've done so far. Yeah, I don't know.
And of course you mentioned the word unicycle. That's not a word that's often associated with the word touring. Why tour on a unicycle, Chris?
Why not? It's the simplest way to put it. Why do what everyone else does? Lose the training wheel.
How long have you been riding unicycles, Chris?
About 7 years. For someone who's been riding 7 years, I kind of suck ass at it, but I've loved every minute of it, so yeah.
How did you find out about the tour?
The tour?
Yeah. Because Jen said you put her onto it. She hadn't heard about it, so you're the source of information.
I've been sort of looking at the Adventure Unicyclist page for a long time, looking on the forums in the update section where they have like big events and things. And actually, I spoke to Ken a long time ago. I was thinking about doing the Nepal trip, but planets didn't align, it didn't work out, so I made sure that this time round I was able to make it happen. Yeah.
And what's the best part of the tour so far?
God, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Look,
Time.
don't worry. A lot of people say it's a tough question.
It is.
That's
it really is.
often the answer I get. So you've enjoyed the whole tour, like every day. What would you say is good about each day of the tour? What springs to mind when you think about it?
Well, I suppose, like a lot of other things, there are times when you enjoy it and times when you don't. But it's like a cold shower. Sometimes you hate doing it, but at the end of it, you love having done it. You know, even when you have a bad day, at the end of the day, you can sit down with your friends and have a beer and talk about how awesome it was.
Excellent. That'll do. Thank you.
That's it.
That's it. It's not that painful, really, is it? Beautiful. Just as it starts raining again. Alright.
Oh, it's raining.
It's reason to keep it quick, I suppose. Good.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, it's recording. Okay, Anna, we're in New Zealand. We're doing a unicycle tour. Unusual occupation. How did you get involved in unicycles, Anna?
Because I met Ken.
You met Ken. You never rode a unicycle before Ken?
No.
Wow. So you loved him so much you learnt to ride a unicycle?
Yeah.
True love indeed. Have you ever done a cycling tour before?
I did the Unicycle Tour in Nepal.
You did the unicycle tour. Before that you'd never done a cycle tour in general?
Not a cycle tour. Me and my friend went to the Queen Charlotte track on our bicycles, but by the road, and that's where also maybe we went for a 3-day trip.
So you enjoyed riding on you enjoyed riding on cycles, so the upgrade to one wheel was good?
Well, I commuted to work on a bicycle.
Right.
And then her husband had gone to Europe and he was cycling around Europe, and we were feeling jealous, so we decided we'd DIY ours, and we
Excellent.
took a few days to South Island.
Excellent. So one of the questions is, why go touring on a unicycle?
I don't know, you'd have to ask Ken that one.
Well, the question was actually related to you. Let's change it. Why?
I don't know if I have a choice.
Why would Anna Bailey go touring on a unicycle?
Because I'm still in my honeymoon period of my marriage, maybe.
Do you enjoy it? Because this is your second tour. If it was that painful, you wouldn't be back for a second one, would it?
No, it's fun, but I'd probably easily, it doesn't necessarily have to be on a unicycle for me,
But you come from New Zealand, so this is home territory to you, isn't it?
Yeah, but some of these places I haven't been to before, like this place.
Well, that's
and
one of the
last
things.
One.
When you live in a place, you often don't do everything. It's when you get visitors.
Well, it's reasonably far to come this far from Wellington.
You're talking to an Australian here, Anna. What's 1,000 kilometres between friends?
Well, for a New Zealander, it's you couldn't do it in a long weekend.
All right. How have you enjoyed the tour so far?
It's improving. So the first few days I didn't really enjoy, but I'm enjoying it now. I would probably do it again.
And what's the best part of the tour so far?
Probably yesterday the Roxburgh Dam ride was probably the best. I really enjoyed the Danzi's Pass, and I enjoyed the ride around Aviemore Dam. Those are probably the best bits.
So do you prefer riding on-road or off-road?
I don't know, it depends. It depends on what the off-road is like. Like the off-road today was fine. So the positive with the off-road is that there's no cars and there's no camber. The positive with the on-road is it's nice and smooth.
Because you've done the Lake Taupo ride too, haven't you?
And then it also depends whether the off-road's made for bicycles. So that was the nice thing about the Roxburgh Dam track, that it was easy to ride because you weren't riding a walking track. Yeah, and I've done half of round Taupo.
But still, the Taupo ride it's around a lake too. It's on road.
But it's on
It's
road.
80 kilometres. You know,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who never do 80 kilometres on a unicycle.
Wow, it doesn't seem so much now. We've done like a few days of 80, right?
You're not the first person to say that, actually. A number of people are noticing, and it's something I predicted, but I don't think people believe. But you get to the end of a tour and you suddenly find that everything's become easy.
Yeah.
So you're really enjoying the tour?
Yeah, I am enjoying it.
now. Yes.
So I know Ken is the one who's been primarily organising tours for the last 10 plus years. Do you think there will be another tour?
Yes.
Do you think it will be in New Zealand?
There will be another New Zealand tour. Yeah.
There will? Ooh, there's a bit of pressure on the international crowd to book their plane flights again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'd be keen also to do one in the North Island because he hasn't done any in the North Island. There's some nice trails up there as well. But also there's a few trails in the South Island that have been built about the same time as the Roxburgh Dam and the Clutha Gold Trail that would be nice to do that we didn't have time to do this time. And I think Ken's also keen to do a few sort of long weekend trips again, like the Queen Charlotte trip.
So you mentioned Roxburgh Dam Trail is a new one. How long has it been in place?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
And the Clutha Gold Trail?
5 years. They're both,
5 years?
Yeah, so they're both quite new. And they also, there's a one around Queens, like near Queenstown, which is also, I think, went in at the same time. There's one on the west coast, which looks nice.
So who is it who's building these trails?
Apparently there was some funding that were to make walking tracks and cycle tracks. And also people, I think council saw the benefits that the rail trail brought to those communities and want some of those benefits for themselves. So more areas are trying to, like the Alps Ocean is probably about 5 years as well. 5 or 6 years, it's not very old.
Alps to Ocean was a brilliant ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's really new as well, and it's just sort of them seeing that, oh, cycle tourism is taking off and it can bring a lot to rural communities.
Because when we did the first SINZ tour, the rail trail went from Alexandra to Clyde, and then we were on bitumen for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So it's actually been quite novel to continue on from Alexandra and go on to some really good flowing trails.
Yeah, so it's been really nice. The next few days are all going to be road, but probably not bitumen. I think it will gravel.
Okay. All right, well thank you for that.
I have another question, Anna.
Yeah.
Do you find it harder riding or organizing everything else, cooking? Because you also are the cook, the chief of the cook, and our tour leader for sure. So what's the hardest part?
The hardest part is organising and making decisions. And cooking's fine, especially with all the help. Riding's fine. But no, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, thank you for organising it, because we have had a ball.
Well, that's good.
And
that's the main
on behalf of
thing.
everyone else, in case you haven't got the message, it's been fun.
I'm glad it's been fun. That's good. We haven't lost anybody or injured anybody or killed anybody or anything yet. So nothing.
Yeah.
Though I shouldn't really say that yet because we've still got 2 more days.
All right. Well, thank you, Anna.
It's very nice to interview people.